Before we started the show today, I asked everyone to write down a question and put it in an envelope and give it to me. And I would try to ascertain the answer to those questions without looking at the question. All right? So I have the first question. It is sealed in an envelope. There is no way I could have seen this question ahead of time. So let's give this a shot. Now I've got to put it up here. Let's see. Okay, all right, okay. I got it. The answer is not the cold open. Not the cold open. That is the answer. Now, let's see what the question was. Not the cold open. And the question reads, what YouTube video show is the most popular? Yeah, I know it was silly, but I have been dying to do that bit for a while. Maybe some of you guys, no, come on, we're all older, right? I mean, you get it. You'll get it. Today we're going to do an actual review. And the review is going to be for the Smok XPro 50M or M50. It's either way. I think it's 50M. And but here's the deal. I mean, I wrote the review yesterday, and you know what? Hold on a minute. Let's stop this for a second. Okay, I thought that was gonna be kind of cute. Let's see if it works or not. Today, I have a review, an actual review for a piece of hardware. But here's the deal. Yesterday, I published a review. It's mine. It's Spinfuel. I'm the publisher, but never mind. I wrote the review for the Smok XPro 50M. Now, the 50 stands for watts. It's 50 watts. It's a 50-watt device. So a few minutes after I wrote it, I get a phone call a few minutes after I published it. I get a phone call from China, and they tell me, they asked me if we've published a review. Yeah, I just did. And they said, well, we've decided to bump the wattage up. So it's now the XPro 65M. It's 65 watts. And if you have purchased a 50-watt device, they are working on, I'll give you the details in Spinfuel when we get them, but they're working on a way so you can send it back or send it in, and I don't know, either they will change the circuit board in there and give you 65 watts, or they'll just take it back and send you a 65 watt. I don't know, but no one is going to be harmed if they bought an XPro 50 in the last month or so. And the smaller version, what the heck was that? The Mini, the XPro Mini, that's being bumped as well. I think it's, I think it's 22 watts being bumped to 36. So that's pretty sweet. But you know, it just goes to show that this really is in the box mod, or like I like to call them pocket mods myself. But in the box mod arena, you really got a war going on. It's not so much the tubes, it's the box mods, and it's like they're competing like crazy to have the highest wattage, or higher wattage, you know. To keep up with this phenomenon, yeah, of the sub-ohm tanks that are coming out. So customers benefit. So you know, we're good. We're all good with that. So that's fine. But my review today is going to be on the XPro 50. But we'll all pretend that it's 65 watts, okay? Because everything else is the same. It's just 60 watts, 65 watts. And and that reminds me, this morning I got word from Smok that their tank, oh God, I forgot the name of the tank. They have a new tank coming out very, very shortly. And this tank goes down to 0.3 ohms. I mean, in an OCC coil. I mean, you know, buy it, stick it in there, 0.3 ohm coils. I mean, it's crazy. Where are they going to go with this? And next year at this time, are we going to be looking at the standard in tanks is 0.1 ohm? I don't know. I really don't know. It's crazy. But hey, I'm interested in trying it. There's three. You can use three different setups inside this new Smok tank. It's 0.3 ohms, 0.5 or 6 ohms, I think, or 7. I don't know. There's the middle one, like the three bears. And then there is an RBA component to it. So that's going to be pretty sweet. Now, you know that Kanger and Joytech and everybody else is going to is working on new stuff as we speak. As a matter of fact, I had hoped to be able to do a review immediately following this one on Kanger's Sub-Tank Mini and Nano. But let's just say somebody took them with them down to the Keys and hasn't come back. So I can't show them. But it's pretty cool. It is pretty cool. And so let's get on with this. The XPro, I don't even know if I should still call this the 50 or I should just refer to it as the M60, the 65M. Let's go with the. I'm gonna go with the 65M. This is the XPro 65M because we're gonna pretend it's 65 watts. And let's. I already unboxed it. I've been using it. I have a couple of brand new ones, and by the way, they are 50 watt. So I don't know what we're gonna do with that. That's in the giveaway. That's what you're gonna get is the 50 watt. I can't help it. I don't have. I'm not magic. But I am. But I can see through these envelopes and these questions. Okay, so we're gonna do an unboxing. This is my box. And it comes in 4 colors. It's silver, gold, black, silver, gold, black. And what, gunmetal? I don't know. Yeah, kind of a gunmetal, kind of a gray. You know, it's not really gunmetal. It's a little bit lighter than gunmetal. And it fits quite nice in here. You lift this piece of foam out, and there is a little compartment down here. And in the compartment, this is kind of cool. You're gonna like this. There, of course, you get your mini USB cable. Now, let's be honest. If you've been vaping a while, you probably have a few hundred of these hanging around, right? We should find a way to, you know, recycle these or something. But this one is a little bit different. In that it's not as stiff. It's not rubberized like Apple's cables, but it's not as stiff, and it's thin. It's very thin, but the cable is thick enough to carry the juice that's needed. And I have been recharging it through my computer USB port, so it works for me. And but you know what? I'm not using this one. I'm using one of 100 that I have here, and I just pick one up. And you get some extra screws, and you're going to need those, which I'll explain in a minute. You get an extra cap, extra rubber cap, and you get a couple of adapters. I'm going to have to put my glasses on again. Now these adapters, which I have not used, one is so that you can use Ego threads, clear misers, if you so desired, and that's there. And the other one looks to be the same thing. So maybe there's 2 of them in here. I don't know. Or maybe someone fiddled with my box. That didn't sound right, did it? Yeah, guys, these are identical. These are identical. But this was sealed when I got it, so you know I don't know what the deal is there. On the kit contents, it says you get one of these. So, but here's something else too. When I got it, there's a place down here for 4 screws, and there was only 2 screws in there. So they sent me extra screws. You'll get extra screws. It's not a big deal. So I pointed out, probably through the quality control. You know what I mean? Somebody looking at it and going, let's take a couple of screws out. So mine is the dark gray, or might be referred to as sort of like a gunmetal-ish color. The finish is like I described in my review. It's kind of got like nano crystals or nano granules in it. It's a nice texture. It's definitely not a no slip. One of the more important, before I get into the specs for it, one of the nice details that they did with this is that this side here is, they call it, you know, concave. It's got a concave side here. And what that really means actually is that they just raise the ridges here. And they raise the ridges right above the buttons. So if you shove this into your tight pockets, you're not going to damage the buttons. The buttons themselves are very clicky. They're very good. They feel wonderful. You really get a nice click out of it. And the plus minus control buttons are larger than I expected, and they work extremely well. There is a reset button in here, and the reset button comes in handy if for some reason the unit stops functioning, or you can't get it out of one of the modes, whatever. You hit the reset and it sets everything back to factory default, which is kind of nice. And the OLED display reads your atomizer. It reads your voltage, reads out your wattage, your battery power, all the rest of the stuff that's basically common. On the bottom, you have 5 vent holes, which is nice for the battery, and you have the USB connector for charging it. Now, a lot of people that I know are making a kind of a big deal out of the fact that that this uses rechargeable batteries, that you can, you know, unlike the iStick and more like the IPV Mini, you can remove the battery and put another one in there. And it's true, you can. You get this Allen wrench deal. Along, by the way, I guess I should mention the manual. Who doesn't include a manual, though? You know what I mean? You get this. Come on, John. Jesus. Get this little Allen wrench dealie, and you can remove the screws. It only takes a few minutes, especially if your fingers aren't, you know, all swollen and cripple-like. But I want to say something about this. This is not really a big deal to me. I mean, it's not a selling point, really. You know, most devices have removable batteries, and so does this one. Now, you know, this doesn't come with a battery. It would have been nice if they would have included a battery in the box, but it doesn't come with one. So what I am afraid of is that because people, mainstream vapors, of which I am one, mainstream vapors who go to vaporauthority.com or myvaporstore.com or avenue40.com, which is where we got these, they will assume, because it's a box mod, that it's more like the Jesus Christ. It's more like the iStick, which has the built-in battery. It is an 1860 battery in here, folks. You just can't get to it. Well, I imagine you can, but you break it. But, and I am, well, anyway, getting back to that, I'm afraid that people will buy it, and it'll come, and they'll try to fire it up by, you know, doing the 5-click deal, and it won't fire up. And then they go, oh, okay, well, I've got to charge it. And so they'll hook it up with the USB cable, and they'll hook it up to their computer or their USB hub or whatever, and come back in a couple hours, and it's still not charged up. They still can't get to the fire. So then they think you got a dead one. And so then they're sending an email to the vendor going, what the hell did you do? You sent me one that's DOA. And the vendors are going to have to tell them, did you buy a battery? No, I didn't. It's a box mod. Why should I have to buy a battery? Well, because it doesn't come with a battery. And it's a box mod, but it's a box mod with rechargeable batteries. So just make a note that if you do buy one of these, that you're going to have to buy a battery. Now, I don't know what our battery situation is around here. So in our giveaway, I'm going to try to find a new battery and include it. It takes flat tops, you know, the fast drain, high drain, MRI, whatever, batteries. So if I can find one in a box that hasn't been used, we'll include it when we ship them out next week. Okay, so anyway, specs. 65 watts. Except for the person who's getting theirs next week for the contest, which is only 50 watts. I think we covered that. Let's not beat a dead horse, John. And ba-ba-ba-boom, ba-da-ba-boo. Yeah, I'm probably going to cut that out. Oh, John, you can't sing. Give it up. Yes, but I wanted to be a singer. And I was just checking something here. And so let's say you have it. Okay, so it's 65 watts, and you can set your voltage from 3.7 to 4.2. I wonder if that's going to change. Would you think it'd have to, wouldn't you? 4.8, 5, 6? I don't know. That might have to change. The low probably will stay at 3.7 volts. The atomizer that's suitable for 0.2 ohms, I find that hard to believe, and 4 ohms. If you can fire a 0.2 ohm coil in this, I'm going to be very impressed. It says it, so it must be true, right? They don't lie on the internet. And reduce it okay. Now this is an interesting note here. I should know this, but you know me, I don't rehearse. This has a standby mode. And if it's in standby mode and your battery drops to a certain level, the smart technology in this thing will reduce the wattage by 5 watts. And so, you know, until you charge it up, you'll have 5 watts less to play with. Now, is that going to be true in the 65 watt circuits? I don't know. Maybe, but I don't know. For a feature set, the looks aren't going to change, the buttons aren't going to change, the finishes aren't going to change, but the guts are going to change. So, you know, how this affects your ranges in voltage. Now, it's certainly going to affect your ranges in wattage. You know, I don't know. But anyway, let's give it a vape. Now, I am using one of my, I have favorites. I just have favorites. That's the way it is. I'm using a Council of Vapor Stratos. Now, I just put a fresh coil in here. I put a 0.8 coil in here. And the reason why I did that is because I really didn't expect this thing to fire down to 0.2. So I said, well, I don't want to use an Atlantis because I'll have to fire off a half ohm. So let's play it safe. Let's do a 0.8. So anyway, so I have it set right now. I'm going to try it at 15 watts, and let's see what kind of a vape I can get at 15 watts. Okay. Now, I let this thing sit for a good 20 minutes. It should be fine, but I'm getting kind of a burnt taste. I don't like that. keep breaking in coils, you know? This is a delicious key lime pie e-liquid in here, and the first couple of hits I couldn't even taste the key lime in here. That's how burnt it was. Now I can. I'm afraid to take this thing up any higher right now, so I mean, maybe I will after it sits for a while. So let's go ahead and do an Atlantis, because apparently it can do it. Who knew? Not me. And by the way, I am trying to get Jacob in here. I know you guys are going, oh, I'm not going to watch this unless Jacob's here. He knows that too. And he's using it against me. Do you want me to show up? Feed me. Buy me toys. It's ridiculous. He's got such an ego. All right, so here we go. This is a well broken in Atlantis. I just hit my elbow. And as if you couldn't tell, we ran out of time. Now, this is still the Atlantis, and I have to bump this up because I tried to fire this at 15 watts and it wouldn't work. So now I didn't even think about it. So I am going to take it to, oh God, that hurt, 24 watts, and see what happens. We'll step it up. You know what I mean? What am I doing here, really, though? You know, I mean, I'm doing a device review. How? You got a tank on here. You're gonna get vapor if you've got a good tank on it. You know, I don't understand that. See what I mean? So, you know, yeah, the electronics are here. It's a good-looking device. And of course it's going to work. Of course it's going to fire off your tanks. If you're using a good tank, you're going to get a good vape. You know, you can have a $20 device, and if it's got the power to fire your tank, you're going to get a good vape. That's how I feel about it. Now, you know, where the value comes in is the aesthetics and the materials and, you know, the build quality. And all that jazz, but you know, come on. This needs more. This definitely needs more. I am going to, you hold the button down steady, by the way, you can get to your desired wattage better. And I'm going to take this to 30. Not much more than 30, folks. I can't handle that. Wonderful. This is wonderful. This is the mellow tank from eLeaf. I'm going to have to rethink this. I mean, you know, I'm going to have to rethink the whole idea of taking a device like an IPV Mini or an iStick or an XPro and saying, you know, should we show a vape? You know, and because, I mean, I'm serious. If you have a proper tank that you love, that works well, as long as you got the power going to it, it's going to work. So, you know, what really should we do in a hardware review? A device review, I should say, because the tank is hardware. You know, we can discuss it. It feels great. The buttons are really, really nice. The OLED screen is very easy to read, but I like the reset button. Don't get me wrong, I like the fact that you can swap out the batteries, but, you know, I won't unless the battery fails. You know, I mean, I will keep recharging it with the USB coil, and I imagine you will be too. So, you know, that's about it. I mean, not all sort worth discussing, really. You can pick this up for about $59, $69. I don't. The price isn't going to change when it goes to 65 watts. So that's nice, you know, and that's all we're going to do. You know, I'm gonna I got a few things to tell you at the end, and then I might come back. I'm gonna see if I can get in touch with somebody and see if I can discuss a product I wanted to tell you about, and and if not, maybe we'll do the K Fun 4. So John Manzione, the Cold Open. Subscribe to my channel, please. And if you do, we still got a couple of days left. 3 days, I think. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. 3 days left for the big giant giveaway where we're giving away 10 really good products and for 10 winners. So, you know, you got 10 chances to win. And I think there's a couple of ways to enter too. So you can multiply that by 2 and it ups your chances. And so do that. Check out Smokin' Joey. He's my best buddy. And subscribe to his channel. Subscribe to Spinfuel's Daily Vape TV, and I'll have all those in the text box below the video. And I think that's about it. You know what? I'm going to put this on a break real quick, and I'm going to see if I can talk my cat to come in here, Jacob, and at least say hello. So I'll be right back. Boy, come and say hello to everybody. Come and say hello. This is the shot right here. This is my baby. This is my baby. He's not in a very good mood today. You know, he's just not. I think it's because it was raining last night. It was, you know, it was, kind of thundering a little bit. Right? Come here. Come here. Want a snack? Huh? Want a snack? You're showing your ass again. Get over here. He doesn't know where the camera is. Oh, my baby. Oh, you're so fat. So fat. There he is. There he is. Hey. He's so good, baby. Yes, he is. All right. That's okay. Say goodbye to everybody. We're breaking in our new lighting system. Got brand new LED light panels in the room. And so I'm going to want to do another video. So if we can't get the permission from I Can't Tell You, then we'll do the K Fun 4 because I've been dying to do that. It's a Christmas gift from Julia, and I love it. Okay, so we'll see you later. How well do you think that went, Jake? Doing okay? You tired? You know, I know you don't vape, but this is really good. This is really good. Where you gonna jump off? Huh? You gonna jump off? Don't jump off. I'll carry you down. I'll carry you down. Yes, I will. Oh shit, we're still recording.